I'm Zach Wall, and this is the Monday Update, where we keep in perspective what happened over the weekend. Make sure to stick around for today's big stories after a few brief updates. Today's roadmap: Antifa Flop, Mueller probe, independent Catalonia, Texas tragedy, and finally, Trump's Asia tour. Let's begin with some good news. The November 4th Civil War was a huge failure. Millions of dollars have been wasted in a scatter of 20 very sparsely populated anti-Trump protests. And in fact, the most successful of these had about 30 protesters, nearly outnumbered 7-1 by the 200 pro-Trump demonstrators. It seems as if Mueller is tightening his grip on General Michael Flynn and son. Flynn, who was fired after only a month on the job for lying to Pence about dealings with the Russian ambassador to the U.S., is being squeezed for a possible money laundering charge and perhaps for lying to federal agents. This investigation has come under fire recently for Mueller's past as the FBI director during the Obama-era Uranium One deal. And in fact, 3 GOP congressmen have introduced legislation to fire the special counsel. However, Paul Ryan has stated no intent to derail Mueller's investigation, adding that the House and Senate are conducting their own investigations on the subject, consequently. And now, it seems as if Catalonia isn't lost yet. Recent GAD3 polls show that pro-independence parties, the ERG, PDE-CAT, and CUP, will likely take between 63 and 69 of the 135 parliamentary seats up for grabs in December. And here's a laugh. Catalan farmers said that they were going to close the border to France, prompting hundreds of Spanish police to rush to the border. However, once these policemen arrived, they figured out it was a trap because the Catalan farmers had planned all of the cops to go past a certain point, and then they blocked the highway with their tractors, basically to keep the police out of the area. However, it seems as if Catalonia is a bigger issue for Europe than previously thought. As tensions in other secessionist movements are mounting, it seems as if we may see more and more small states break away from the larger ones in Europe. And now, tragedy in Texas. In a quiet town of about 400, 26-year-old Devin Kelley opened fire at First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Kelley was court-martialed and dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Air Force in 2014. Kelley killed 26 and wounded 20 more. Victims ranged from 5 to 72. Kelley, a New Braunfels resident, traveled 35 miles to target the small community, which likely means that it was a planned attack. In fact, he attacked on the 8th anniversary of the shooting at Fort Hood in Kileen, Texas, where Nidal Hassan, an Army major, killed 13 and injured 30. While no motive has been yet provided, it would stand to reason that there is significance to the date and the common thread of all the victims. Today, the common thread of all the victims is Christ. Kelley was chased north by the hero of the day, Johnny Langendorf, until he shot himself and drove off the road at a sharp curve. Kelley's Facebook has since been deleted, so that thread was tied up. But the clarification's sake, it is illegal for anyone receiving a dishonorable discharge to purchase a firearm. Currently, no specifics are known on Kelley's court-martial or his motives, but we extend a special thanks to not only Johnny Langendorf and the so far unnamed men who fought back against Kelly, but also to KSAT 12, the news station from San Antonio where I was able to find a lot of this information. However, luckily enough, there was at least some good news yesterday. Trump is on a mission to strengthen ties with a 5-country tour of Asia, which will see him visit Japan, November 5th, South Korea, November 7th, Beijing, China, November 8th, Da Nang, November 10th, and Hanoi, November 11th, both in Vietnam, and ending in the Philippines on the 12th and 13th. This trip will be a first because it's almost 2 weeks long, and for a president to spend that long in Asia, it's been a long time since it's happened. Upon landing in Japan, Trump spoke at Yokota Air Base, a joint U.S.-Japan base near Tokyo, where he spoke to unify the men and women there, saying, "No one, no dictator, no regime should underestimate American resolve." He spent the day along Abraham Shinzo. Well, I'd say Abraham, but it's just Abe. I'm not sure if it lengthens to that. The Prime Minister of Japan, including a custom hat reading, "Trump and Shinzo make the alliance even greater." However, not everyone is so happy about the trip. North Korea warned the spiritually unstable president not to make reckless remarks about the regime. That's all I've got, folks. If you'd like to subscribe to see more, maybe even like this video and leave a comment if you want to voice your concerns on any of the stories you heard today. Thank you, and good night.